Ezri Konsa is the most underrated centre-back so far this season. Konsa has been better than Tyrone Mings this season.
Absolutely.
Guaranteed. Welcome to the podcast. It's your three favourite people here to talk to you about some great sports stuff. I've been told by producer Ewan it's important that you guys subscribe. You guys are watching and you can see the red button and you haven't clicked it yet. So how about you just go hit that. Hit that for me. Thank you. We've got something exciting for you. You can just look up and see it, but you know, it should be fun. I just really want to, I caved. I don't know if you guys heard a few months ago after, I think this was after the Burnley loss, like months ago, and I had my little rant, and I was like, I'm not going to buy a shirt for this club until they sort themselves out. But I caved. I saw this ages ago, and I was like, oh my God, it's so fire. It's the Arsenal X 424 shirt. I was like, I have to buy that. And we just won the North London derby, so they earned my credit card numbers. So, you know, I caved. I did cave, and then I watched the West Ham game today, and the more goals that went in, the more my brain was thinking of what other things I could have spent that money on instead of buying the shirt. I won't say how much it is because my mum listens to this sometimes, and obviously, like, you know, it costs £3.99. According to my mum, it costs $3.99. So,
dear.
I think I'd be in trouble if she found out. But, you know, I was thinking about these things that I could have probably better spent my money on, and it was a bit worrying. But we came out with a draw. I mean, that game of football was... This is why I love the sport. I mean, there's certain things in this game that are just amazing, and that was one of them. I won't go into every single player, but someone's play. Aubameyang was an absolute passenger for the entire game until he came off. I don't know why we don't start players like Martinelli consistently over Aubameyang now, because he just... I'm not going to hate on Aubameyang because of what he's done for the club, but, you know, it's time to go sometimes. Do you know what I mean? Like, just
It's
not get twisted.
time to go.
Okay, I shouldn't say it's... No. It's not time to go, right? But this is in his game. Against Olympiacos, he was poor. It's just
gone
rough.
down.
And Martinelli,
He had been in good form up before the Olympiacos game, though, to be fair.
he'd been on and off. He was scoring a few goals, granted, yes. But in overall performances, I mean, he sort of changed his style. He doesn't really, I don't want to say he doesn't try as hard, but he doesn't work as hard lead up to the goal. He usually relies now on people behind him a lot more. So, you know, Saka being in great form was helpful for him. Same with Pepe and Odegaard. They were really helping him get these goals. And Smith Rowe, of course. But if you look to like last season, a lot of these goals, he's almost making them himself. It's like some of these goals he was just shooting outside the box and just banging them in top bins, and he didn't even need some of these creative people, whereas now it seems a bit more reliant, which is a bit worrying.
But thankfully, you have got some very creative people now, as
We
opposed to
certainly
you know, 3 months ago when, God, it was dire, wasn't it? You had absolutely nothing going on creatively, and now obviously Smith Rowe kind of burst onto the scene late December. But now the man, Martin Odegaard, has turned up. He was outrageous in the second half.
Oh, he was honestly so... If we don't sign this guy in a permanent deal, there's going to be riots in the street. I'm deadly serious about it. I can just feel it. Because this kid, it's set up perfectly. It is like an Ozil through ball. It's just so good. Zidane doesn't rate him. He doesn't play in his system. Odegaard wants to be here. He knows the fans love him. He seems to like it in London. It is perfect. This is the situation. I could imagine a decent fee. Real Madrid want to get Haaland and Mbappe, all them duns. They're not even thinking about Odegaard. All at this point, they see Odegaard as cash. They just see him as a big bag of money, right? And we see this guy as an absolute baller. He was involved in all three of the goals today that went in on our side. Even on 2 wrong goals. We aren't going to acknowledge them. They were goals at the end of the day. This kid is a madness, and he's actually one of the few that have really lived up to the hype back in the day, like when he was 15 and people were like, wow, this kid's really cool. He actually is, and he's doing it in one of the hardest leagues to do in. Like, this is honestly a guy that we have to just go for in the summer. Priority number 1. I don't care about Arwa anymore. Arwa who? Who? What? At this point, he sounds like a ice cream flavour. Arwa. This is I don't know where that came from, but this guy is the new guy.
I would be in that ice cream.
Who needs to sign, and I think he wants to. There's rumours that he's been talking to his agents about potentially getting a move in the summer, or even another loan deal. I take another loan deal just to if it means money, waiting for a bit more cash. Honestly, like ever since he banged in that goal against Olympiacos in the first leg, he has exploded. And Smith Rowe, it gives him a bit more time to just sort of develop, and he seems to be doing great either way. He plays on the left. He's been playing on the left a bit more now, or swapping in between Odegaard and him on the left wing and Cam in between games, and he's working.
How old is Odegaard?
22, I think.
So
yeah, I don't know.
I wouldn't say he's you can let Smith Rowe if you get Odegaard in, that's almost kind of a Smith Rowe, you're not good enough type.
No, I don't think so, because you can't just win with one Cam. Like,
no. But you'll have a set, like a main Cam, and it'll be one or the other. You can't keep on.
We played with two Cams in the end.
Smith Rowe doesn't have to play in Cam.
Smith
Rowe has played out on both wings.
Exactly.
Over the course of his career, and he's playing on the wing recently. He's still playing really well. I think Smith Rowe's still got, even whether Odegaard signs or not, Odegaard's got a really bright future at Arsenal, and he's going to be an important player.
He has to stay. He wants to stay. He has to stay. Imagine him with like Martinelli. If Martinelli actually started, I just want to see a link up between Martinelli and Smith Rowe and Odegaard and Saka all in one. Because apparently Martinelli might be playing up front soon. He's been training as a striker. See him training, doing these little acrobatic side flips. When you hold L2 on FIFA and you're doing all these little skill finishes. That's Martinelli. That's my striker now. I think Arteta has discovered that he's going to be the next thing. Like not Nketiah, not Balogun. I think he might have accepted Balogun's leaving and just having Martinelli as the next thing. I love it. It's amazing. I'm excited. Just
from past experience, don't gas up training sessions because Timo Werner scores in training sessions.
Yeah. I remember seeing a video of Werner scoring and the entire whole squad and the coaches all gassed him up because he scored a tap-in. It was great.
I think it's watching Odegaard, particularly in the second half against West Ham, just like the way he was playing, like he just picks up the ball and he's always able to find space. And then no matter what, he'll hold on for it for a couple of seconds and he will pick the right pass every single time. And
Which is crazy.
He'll get it through a gap and he'll find a pass that nobody else saw. When he played in Nicolas Pepe right at the end, for instance, which, by the way, I thought you had a decent chat for a penalty there, and the referee didn't really look at that. But,
John Moss, get him out.
It is a bit reminiscent of another attacking midfielder signed from Real Madrid a few years ago.
Come on. We swapped the one weird O for the other weird O. Ozil to Odegaard. You know the drill. I could see a similar price range as well, like £40 million. His vision is so it's. I don't want to compare him to Prime Ozil because Prime Ozil is up there with Kevin De Bruyne and David Silva in my opinion. But the vision and the potential he shows at 22 years old is disgustingly good. I can't. It's just he passes that ball so much.
Yeah, but to bring you back down to earth, football is a game of two halves, not just one.
Yes.
Oh God.
And that first half was
shocking,
appalling. Defensively, oh dear. Dear.
Yeah, it felt like Emery days as well. I thought the Don was in the stadium at some points because that free kick. First of all, I do want to say that wasn't a free kick, but at the same time, there's no excuse to be caught napping like that. It was almost like every single player was just like, are we all just asleep? Alright, cool, nap time, yeah? Alright, safe. And they all turned around. Iki and Actress apparently just scored a screamer, by the way. They all turned around, and then Leno was caught napping in goal. And I don't know what Leno was doing in his near post like that. You can't be getting caught like that. That's not okay.
Rule 1, you don't turn your back on the play.
Yeah, there's like three that turn their back. I think Saka, Odegaard, Aubameyang all turn their back on the ball and just let it go. But Lingard at the same time, like before that, there's nothing you could have done about that screen.
Oh, Lingard's first goal was a smasher.
Wow. The guy set it up for himself. He assisted himself and then volleyed it top bins. This guy he's taking us. He's bringing the Euros home with him, isn't he? He's going to take us to the Euros, isn't he? Really, this is crazy. He's since he's joined West Ham, he has been their best player. He's got 8 goals and assists in 7 appearances now for West Ham, which is like what against when he was at United. I don't know what it is. I think West Ham should sign him permanently from just what we've seen so far, and I think he'll want to stay. I don't think United's the best place, and there's so much competition at United.
He's not going to play at Man United, even if he's in this form. Like if he goes back there, he's going to be a bench warmer again. He's found a new home in West Ham, and he should stay there.
Yeah. And the fans seem to love him as well. I think he should just keep him there. Yeah. And Moisey has been. I don't know what's happened to Moisey, but he's for some reason.
Wizard, man.
He has. It's weird because last season we were slapping him up, Martinelli doing the madness, but maybe that was why. But ever since that game actually, because before that they wanted him out, and then although they lost that game, they played really well as a team, and I think they've really turned around in the past season.
Where did they finish last season? Did they finish 17th?
They finished quite low. I don't think it was that
16th low. Maybe. Aston Villa finished 17th.
Yeah,
but 16th maybe, and
they've closed 12, 11 places in the league in one season. And they're fighting for top 4.
Sure, some of that's down to good signings. Jared Bowen has been good. Thomas Souček, obviously. The new Fellaini, what a man.
Yeah. Wow. But Thomas Souček has been, that midfield of Thomas Souček and Rice has been scary. Yeah. Xhaka and Partey in the first half couldn't get a sniff in the middle. I was quite worried.
The whole team has been built really effectively, I think. I mean, for one thing, physically, I think they're probably the most powerful team in the league. I mean, virtually every single player in that team, you would not want to meet them in a dark alley at night. And
I'd like to see Souček in a dark alley. I think he'd be nice.
Potato salad fan.
Do you know what I mean? Just brings that up the whole way.
At corners, West Ham are by far the most threatening team in the league. No one's winning a header against West Ham. And
I didn't know Mikel Antonio had hops like he did, I didn't see him when he scored that header. I was shocked that he could do it like that.
Yeah, and he's not even that tall, but he's just so strong. And they've built this really physically powerful team, and then you've got a sprinkle of creativity in the attack as well from Lanzini and Jared Bowen
as well. Lingard as well. I forget
Lingard, of course, came in January and had a huge impact. It's just a really well built team, you have to say. And even their defense was shocking last season, and now it's great. I mean, Craig Dawson. How was he turned into a good signing?
When Craig Dawson was when he was playing, I was honestly just I didn't know if I thought it would abuse him, to be honest, but he held his own. I know he got a yellow card, but and he should have conceded a penalty, but he it was really good in that game.
Yeah,
and I was quite worried.
Premier League centre back, and they got him for virtually nothing, so it's another good signing.
West Ham, but we should also put the other game. This did Craig Dawson score the own goal? I think he did, didn't he? He did. Speaking of own goals, we should talk about the other own goal. Another own goal that happened elsewhere in a game that nobody really cares about because it's cup, and if your club's not in it, why do you care? Chelsea. You guys, what? You won 2-0. And there was really early. I think second minute there was an own goal.
I don't think it was that early, was it?
It was quite early. It was
pretty
early. I didn't get onto the game.
I don't know about second minute, but it was
24th. I mean, I don't know about early.
I missed it somehow. But either way, I mean, it was a bit of a dry game. You got the own goal, and then you didn't really do much until I missed the end because obviously the Arsenal game kicked off.
The end was pretty good, actually. It was pretty.
It wasn't.
Sheffield United started actually throwing stuff forward. Ryan Brewster was this close to scoring an equaliser, and then Chelsea went right up the other end, and DX scored his second goal in 2 games.
Yeah,
fair play.
I think,
and it was sort of silencing the haters in that game as well.
It's very much now Chelsea have kind of gone for the point of, right, if we score 1 goal, we'll win the game.
Yeah,
it's a bit scary that they're doing that. Really,
it's it is that, but it's not necessarily the Jose Mourinho way of doing that. In that we'll score 1 goal and then sit back and let them just press us and absorb all the pressure. It's more we'll score 1 goal and then we'll just keep the ball and we'll just pass it around and then they can't score. And it's more effective than Mourinho's way. You still rather that you grabbed a couple more goals here and there to see out games, but it's working at the moment. It can't be denied. Still unbeaten under Tuchel.
Yeah, I mean,
very good at just
another clean sheet as well.
Outstanding defensively.
Yeah, last time we conceded at Stamford Bridge was when Frank Lampard was manager. It was Luton.
That is crazy. It's Luton as well.
Yeah,
I think you could probably go on to win this now, considering there is a potential for you guys to even do. Are you in the Carabao? You're not in the Carabao Cup anymore.
No.
But
the Carabao Cup is Spurs, Man City, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can't wait for Spurs to get battered in that game. Yeah. But I think you're in a position to at least come end this season with a trophy somewhere. You're still in the Champions League. You seem to be doing good in that.
Do you know what's mental? We haven't. So if we don't win a trophy this season, that is being that's the first time in the Abramovich era that Chelsea haven't won any silverware in 2 consecutive seasons.
Really?
Yeah.
Greenwood has just scored for United. We should have waited to this Man United game because apparently Iheanacho's doing a madness. Greenwood just scored.
I don't know where you got the screamer from. That was a load of rubbish.
I saw a thing on Twitter saying he scored a banger or something.
Nah, Fred's
Iheanacho's been on good form recently, actually, since
like that hat.
Yeah, he did. And I think Harvey Barnes and Maddison being out has helped him to just sort of come into the team a bit more and
he's
show
now their most important attacker because, as you said, Maddison and Barnes are out and Vardy is back, but he still seems to be recovering from the injury problems he's had this season, and he's got, I think it's like 1 goal in 14 games for Vardy. So Iheanacho's turned into their main attacker.
Which is good. I think he knows it now, and we're seeing the sort of Man City Iheanacho that we thought we were going to get, when he was there.
Yeah.
And
he's a very technically good player, and he's a good finisher. And if he's got his confidence up, he definitely can score goals.
Imagine that kind of prime Iheanacho. With I was going to say Iwobi, but Iwobi's a dead baller. I'm going to say it like Nigeria, but it doesn't even matter.
It's not a 2-man sport.
It is not a 2-man sport. Nigeria got some good players, have I?
I have no idea.
Name any other Nigerian player. There's more.
But talking about,
I'm sure there's plenty that. Is Victor Moses Nigerian? I think he is. Isn't he?
Yeah, he is, but he's not that good, is he?
Yeah.
I don't know where this conversation.
All right, you have your little segue. Go on. You wanted
the segue didn't even work. But we're just going to quickly move on to the Champions League.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Our predictions that were interesting.
We made some predictions. Did we do the predictions on video? I don't think we did we?
We did in the last podcast, didn't we?
Oh, we did. Yeah, we did. After the Northern Derby, we did.
Yeah.
We did some predictions last weekend about who was going to do good and bad in the Champions League. Made some predictions. I got a bit of gas because I thought I did a madness, and then I realised everyone else did the same thing as me. So, Ewan, do you want to take it away and just tell us what we said?
Yes. So, first of all, the Chelsea versus Atletico Madrid ended in a 2-0 win. Do you want to do that little story, Jacob? Would you want?
Yeah. Some Don got robbed by Emerson. This guy, I don't know if you guys know Super 6 now. I've explained this a few times. Basically, you get 6 scores. If you get all 6 scores right, you win 250 grand. That's the life-changing amount of money. No one ever wins it, really. That's why it's so much money. This guy had all of them right. He's in his head, right? 85th minute of this Chelsea game. He's already spending the money.
90th.
And then 90th minute, dark figure. Guy holding up the board. Who is it? It's Emerson. Oh, it's fine. Emerson hasn't played in like 6 months. I'm sure we'll be okay. I'm going to get my 250 quid. I'm going to go to the Bahamas when lockdown is done. I'm going to eat Kobe beef and get a sports car. That's what he's got. He's already online looking at sports cars and a yacht. Like he's on yachts.com. Yeah, and all of a sudden, he's seen the breakaway. He's seen Conte run. Who got the assist? Was it Werner or Havertz?
It was Kovacic.
Was it Kovacic? Okay. He's seen the break. Kovacic's got the ball. Conte sprinting down his right. Emerson sprinting down his left. He's stopped a little bit. He's a bit worried. Emerson's got the ball. His heart stops and he slips it past Oblak and it's done. His 250 quid is gone down the toilet. That's the story.
250,000.
250. It was £250,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said 250 quid.
Oh. I did that last time as well, didn't I? Yeah, he's lost all his money basically. He's been shafted by Emerson, who hasn't scored. When was the last time Emerson ever scored a goal for Chelsea? This guy doesn't really.
I think he's only scored 2 career goals at Chelsea.
Exactly. That is rough.
Pain.
That's rough. That is real pain. But yeah, either way, it was a good game from Chelsea.
I mean, he may have lost his money, but at least you got your prediction right, Jacob.
I did get my prediction right. I guessed 2-0. I was celebrating. I didn't even know about that guy until it was too late. But I won it. And that's what, 10 points for me?
10 points for you, and I got 5 points because I got I said 1-0 to Chelsea. So
It's 1-0.
Correct.
Didn't
winner.
believe in your own club enough. I believed more than you.
Score.
You should be ashamed. Should be ashamed, honestly.
And Sam just definitely didn't believe in us. He thought it'd be 1-1.
Yeah.
So
I still believed you'd go through.
Oh, I suppose that's all right, isn't it? But anyway, Bayern Lazio. The score ended in 2-1 to
This
Bayern.
one I got perfect.
I think I predicted like a battering, didn't I?
Sam got it perfectly, so that's 10 points to Sam. Jacob, you said it'd be a 4-1 to Bayern. So
I believe too much.
You got the right winner, so that's 5 points to you, and I said it'd be 2-0 to Bayern.
What was it again? 2-1?
2-1. I didn't think Lazio would score, but they did.
Yeah.
On to the next one. Madrid versus Atalanta was 3-1.
I don't know where I went with this.
Yeah, this didn't go too well. I said it'd be 1-1. Jacob, you said it'd be 1-0 to Atalanta.
And then midway on penalties.
Sam, you said it'd be 2-0 to Madrid. So you got the correct winner.
Was Sam the only one who got any points from that?
From the Real Madrid game.
Oh my God.
And then
That's poor.
City versus Mönchengladbach was 2-0 to City. I said it'd be 3-0 to City. So did Sam. And Jacob, you said it'd be 2-1 to City. So we all got 5 points in that round.
What was the score?
2-0 to City.
Oh, okay. I'll take 5 points from that. Can't predict City very well.
So this week, I got 15 points. Jacob, you got 20 points. And Sam, you also got 20 points. Which means the grand total at the minute is currently 35 to me, 35 to Sam, and 30 to Jacob.
So close.
I'm only 5 high, but the comeback is on.
Close. And there's some really fascinating games coming up in the quarterfinals as well. We'll do our predictions for them pretty soon. Some spicy game.
We just want to start thinking about what the fourth is going to be. We need to brainstorm because this is needs to be big.
We'll come up.
We'll be all together as well in time. So hopefully, if Bojo doesn't shaft us, we'll that's something special for you lads.
In fact,
do we have to make predictions for next week?
No, the week after? Not next week.
It's
international break, isn't it? Yeah.
It is indeed international break, which moves us on to.
Oh, that's perfect. I just did a little through ball for you. Did you see that?
Ewan's run through. He's finished it off.
He's running behind. Little tap in. I'll set you for an easy tap in, bro.
So we're going to do our Euros predicted. Well, no, it's not predicted. Our ideal lineups.
Who we want? Who do we want to see?
We had a bit of a discussion beforehand on what formation we were going to go with.
Ultimately, we decided to go with the majority and stick with the 3-4-3 that Gareth's probably going to play.
Which we all hate, but you know.
Yeah.
If he plays it like Tuchel, I'd be happy.
None of us actually really want to see him play 3 at the back, but it's going to happen. So it's our ideal 3-4-3 for England. So I guess
should we get into it?
Get right into it with the goalkeeper.
Yeah, goalkeeper. I think it's a difficult one, to be fair, the goalkeeper.
Is it?
It is, because I think they're all dreadful.
Because I think the issue is that England's best goalkeeper isn't a starter at his club at the moment.
Oh, right.
And so it's kind of difficult to justify throwing him in. But he has started the last couple of games. Been very good. Kept the clean sheet against Man City.
Yeah, I'll go through all 3 of them from my thoughts. Pickford's, I think he can for international. I think he's very, very good, but he hasn't been that great for club.
That's what matters most, isn't it? That's what you grade you on.
Oh yeah, Dean Henderson doesn't play for the club that much, but if he carries on playing for the rest of the season as number 1, I think he has to be number 1 for England.
I just don't know why he signed a new contract. It's just a waste of your career. I know they probably paid him really well, but
I would presume that he was told this season you'd be kind of number 2/number 1, get some games in, and then next season you'll be our number 1.
Yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Man United sold their hair either this summer or next.
I don't know.
There's been some rumours linking him to Paris Saint-Germain, which could make sense. Keylor Navas is a really good goalkeeper, but getting on, he's about 36 now. Seeing him linked to Juventus as well, which I don't think makes that much sense because Szczesny's a great keeper.
Baller.
But
we made him.
I reckon Man United might try and offload De Gea within the next kind of year.
The problem with the thing with De Gea is, I don't know how long. I think he's got 2 years left in his deal. He is the highest paid player in the Premier League.
Yeah.
With 350k a week. So, you're telling me that I know PSG, you've got money, but that kind of money, I don't think so. Especially when they're already like PSG are already paying Haaland and Mbappe insane amounts of money. Juventus can't even afford to pay Dybala's wages apparently at the moment, and they're paying like Aaron Ramsey something like 400k a week. So I just can't really see. I know it's possible, but I can't see.
Yeah,
it really.
and
I think if he goes anywhere, it's going to be PSG probably.
Yeah. But either that, if he doesn't go anywhere, I think Dean Henderson will walk. He'll request a transfer.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have signed a new contract. A year. He's only a year into his deal at the end of the season.
Yeah,
it's a 4-year deal, I think, or 4 or 5. So
yeah, so then
it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, but you'd wait for next season, then you'd have 2 years on your contract, which is the year that you tend to be sold anyway.
It's wasting 2 years if you.
If you promise something, if you promise something at Man United, then you're going to want to stay, aren't you?
Yeah, but at least as a goalkeeper, like he's got more time than.
Yeah.
Like if he was like a centre mid or something, you would want to be starting at this point.
Yeah,
you have
100%.
to be. But as a goalkeeper, you've got a bit more time. He's still very young. But anyway, in terms of who we've actually put in our ideal 11s, Jacob, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, I did Popey boy. I really like Nick Pope. He's lanky. He's like 6'7", and his saving ability is just insanely good. Like I don't see why not. I wanted to check. I didn't check. Has Meslier got a French cap?
Don't think he does now.
Has he been in long enough to be English?
No.
How long do you need to be here?
Joined Leeds 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, if he was, then I would have had him. Believe it or not, Martin has actually played for England, and there's rumours that he wants to because he's been here.
Has he ever been capped for Argentina?
He has, but only for a friendly.
Right.
Which was he only got capped last.
I would take that in a heartbeat, Martin.
Yeah. I can't see it happening though.
He played last season. He played the season in a friendly when Elena got injured and he's having the form of his life. But he's been here since he was like 19. So like 16. He's been here. He was one of the longest serving players of the club. Yeah. So he's talked about it. I know he's not English. That could be a problem for a lot of people. But we had Fabio Capello as the manager, so I don't see why not. And I think most would have him. Like everything about him, his shot stopping and distribution are like he has one of the best in the Prem.
Absolutely.
So,
been one of the best keepers this season. Probably team of the season goalkeeper.
Yeah, easily.
But for my goalkeeper choice, I have actually picked Dean Henderson.
Yeah.
I think just based on like who I think. I mean, I think he's the best. He's the best English keeper overall.
Probably, yeah.
He's not playing. I like Nick Pope a lot, and he'd be my number 2. But I don't quite think he has the ability with the ball at his feet.
I think that's his biggest issue.
Yeah,
you kind of want.
I can agree with that.
In Southgate's system, there's a lot of playing out from the back, and you do need to have that confidence as more of a sweeper keeper as well. And I think Dean Henderson's just got that quite a bit better than Nick Pope. He hasn't played so much, but when he has played, he's been really good. Got a big game time recently, and I want him to start.
Yeah,
he'd be the guy that I would pick.
I've gone for Dean Henderson as well. Off the thought of I assume he'd be playing in goal for the rest of Man United season. So at that point, he's played pretty much half a season in goal. He is the highest potential and the best current ability, I think. And the only reason people were saying he wouldn't be was because he doesn't have game time. Well, if he's got half a season, I think that's more than enough.
Yeah.
So I've gone for Dean Henderson.
Yeah, I mean Lingard has also had similar game time and he's in, so I can understand why. Want him.
Yeah. So moving on to centre backs now, I guess. Obviously we've gone for a 3 at the back system, which changes the thinking a bit about who should maybe be in. But at least I'm sure we can at least agree on one centre back to start, and that's got to be John Stones, right?
Of course. He's been absolutely immense. I can't believe he hasn't actually got into the team or at least for this friendlies anyway, because he's been crazy good. Like ever since he saw Diaz come through that door, I bet he was absolutely crapping himself when he saw the news that Ruben Diaz was coming in, because he knew he was going to be replaced. And fair play to him because he hasn't, gone down without a fight, and he's really, really fought back. And now he's next to Diaz, and that defense is insanely good. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy good. They don't concede many goals at all now since they've been together, and his aerial ability has really improved. He just looks like a great threat.
And he's cut out those mistakes that they used to be so prominent. Like everybody knew that Stones was a quality centre back, but he just had those moments, you know, where he'd give the ball away in a stupid position, or he'd just, you know, have a brain collapse mid defending. But this season he's just been so consistent, so solid, completely reliable, and of course his ball playing ability is almost second to none in the Premier League.
I mean, because we're talking about three at the back, we obviously it's a bit more positional wise in the three, which way you go to instead of it being a two. Where are you putting Stones? Left centre back, right centre back, central?
I think
he's left-footed, isn't he?
I think probably left.
Yeah,
I think left or right, it doesn't really matter. He could probably play central as well, but I'll put somebody else there.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I could definitely agree with that. Speaking of someone else, we've all picked John Stones, haven't we?
Yeah,
so who would you put as your middle centre back then? Since you were
so you say left, you say on his left.
I've said left. I'll say left. I'll say left.
Sound.
But specifically because we're playing at three at the back, and he wouldn't be in if we weren't playing at three at the back. And to be honest, I wouldn't even consider him for a starting role if we were playing a four at the back. But as a central centre back in a back three, Connor Cody.
Yeah, I think you're going to say that. To be honest,
he is just purely in that role. He is one of England's best.
Yeah, he was, and when he played last time as well, he was there. He was great.
Yeah,
one of the best players on the pitch. To be honest, just swept everything. I like him. He offers a lot. You know, not just in defence, but also just going forward. His passing range is pretty good.
And he's a leader. He's one of the best.
Yeah, he is.
In the squad.
He really is. You know, he obviously has converted CDM. He's got that sort of mindset still with him, and having two centre backs behind him to back him as well is also really helpful.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't put Cody in at all. Mainly, I've put someone in that's very, very controversial in the England squad nowadays. I've put Harry Maguire in the middle because I think he performs a lot better in a back three with someone quick next to him, which you'll find out who I've put next to him.
I also actually did put Harry Maguire in my team, which I know is like a lot of people have been slating Harry Maguire, but since maybe December, ever since the Sheffield United loss, he's been a lot better. And he has improved. I mean, you don't get to second in the league without having a good defence, and he's been part of that. So in a back three,
I think anyone can see that Harry Maguire is a quality centre back when he's not making mistakes, and that is the thing. He does make mistakes sometimes, and he does have these lapses in defence, and of course his mobility is pretty poor. But he's very good on the ball. We know this. He's a great passer. Yeah. He's also a pretty good dribbler. And physically, he is just a tank. Bridgehead
Maguire.
And yeah, look, I think he deserves to be in there. I've got him in my team as well as one of the wide centre back as opposed to the central centre back. So yeah, I think his place is the most under threat. There's a couple centre backs who are like, knocking on the door. I think Ezri Konsa deserves.
Yes, I was going to say he's my third one.
He's your third pick.
Yeah, he's honestly so good. So, sorry, do you want to, before we move on, just say
who have we got in central? Have you said Harry Maguire in central centre back then as well, Jake?
I did say Harry Maguire.
So we've gone with Harry Maguire then because the majority. Sorry.
Yeah. Unlucky Sam. Oh yeah, we're doing I forgot we're doing the graphic for my third one. Right, Ezri Konsa is the most underrated centre back so far this season. I've watched a few Villa games because I rate Villa, but like Konsa and Martinez, those two have been the signings of their season for Villa because they almost fought relegation. They should have got relegated last season, to be honest. If it wasn't for that goal and technology blunder against Sheffield United and West Ham, they would have been relegated. And ever since then, now they're fighting for they're top six contenders, really.
Yeah.
And that is really down to those two. Konsa has been better than Tyrone Mings this season.
Absolutely.
Guaranteed.
I think Tyrone Mings has been called up for the World Cup qualifiers that I think there's one the day after this goes out, and Mings is in that squad and Konsa isn't.
And I think Konsa deserves to be in there more.
I think Konsa makes Mings look good.
Yeah.
I think Mings looks like a more solid centre-back than he is because Konsa is next to him. I don't think Mings is bad centre-back. I think he's okay. But I think definitely Konsa is better and much younger. He's got a really, really high ceiling.
Yeah, I mean, he could. I'm not going to say he's going to move because he might want to stay at Villa, but I'd 100% have him at Arsenal. I think he'd get into pretty much most Big Six teams at this point. He's, great. Yeah. So that's my right centre back.
So Sam, who've you gone in for right centre back?
Well, we've already talked about him, but Harry Maguire was my third centre back. So my centre back, my back three is Stones, Cody, Maguire.
Well,
that's what I've gone for.
We've came to our first issue here.
Indeed.
I have not put either of those two.
Oh, who did you put?
I have put the one that I think personally, I don't think he can play right back, but he is a right back, and I've put Kyle Walker in right centre back.
I didn't even think.
I know he's not a centre back, but he plays there and he plays there very, very well.
Yeah, I understand why you want to put Kyle Walker in right centre back, but he was there as a shoo-in because he wasn't really supposed to be there. Was it injuries why he played there? I don't know why he played there, but he wasn't supposed to play there. And I much prefer
to get Trippier in as well. It was to get both Trippier, and we've got a ridiculous amount of right.
Yeah, but now we put Trippier on the left, don't we? And we have him on the right.
The thing is, I think a couple of years ago, at the 2018 World Cup, when Walker played as a right centre back, Walker had to play and he had to go because at the time he was probably the best right back in the league, and he was nailed on to get in the team. Now, it's way more debatable because...
Xhaka said that was crazy.
I mean, Kyle Walker's not even a guaranteed starter these days at Man City. Cancelo has been unreal this season at right back and at left back a bit as well. I think
it's kind of your vote,
I like Walker at right centre back. I think he's decent, but I'd rather have an actual centre back there.
So you get to pick really, because obviously Maguire's already in. So it's either Konsa or Walker. It's up to you, bro.
I mean, I've got one question, right?
Oh,
is Konsa? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't watched Villa this season.
Sorry.
Is Konsa quick? Because we need someone quick.
Yeah, he's fairly quick.
Okay, I was gonna say because if it's a slower centre back, that won't work because Maguire has got to have someone fast next to him.
Well, yeah.
No, he does. He does.
Okay. He does need pacey centre backs behind him, but if he's playing in central, then if he plays on the right, then it's a bit different. You could play Konsa in the middle. You could rearrange it.
I think in a back three, it's less important because at the end of the day, you have, even if one centre back gets dragged out, you have two others who are behind you to cover. So I don't think mobility is as much of an issue in a back three.
Yeah, I agree with that. Decision time.
But there is actually one more name that I kind of just want to throw out there. I'm not going to pick him in my back three, but
for Tomorrow.
I think he's a contender for most underrated centre back in the Premier League this season. And it's actually Michael Keane from Everton. I think he's had a quality season under Ancelotti. Their defence has been much better. And alongside Yerry Mina, I've been really impressed with the performances. And I think he'd probably play as a central centre-back in a back three. I think he's a pretty good passer. I think he deserves
I can understand that.
I think he deserves place in the squad as a rotation option. But
scored an own goal in his last England game, which is always going to be a memory of him. So he probably wants to brush that out of everyone's mind.
Yeah,
but I can understand Michael Keane.
But my pick, if it comes down to my decision, I'll go for Ezri Konsa at right centre back.
Come on, that's my guy.
We've got a back three of Stones, Maguire, and Konsa. I like that. Yeah. That's solid.
And then it's a midfield four now. Should we start right wing back?
Yeah.
So for my wing back, because wing back, you haven't got to do as much defending. So I went for Trent. Because, it's Trent. This season, going forward, he's still been one of the best right backs, I think, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But defensively, he's been extremely poor. So I think as a wing back, it suits him really well because you don't have to really defend. And he can sort of come into that midfield role a lot better. I also thought of Reece James, and I know you're going to say him there.
I have got a point against Trent, a massive one that could change the balance of this, is we have seen him in the back five before. And he did not know what he was doing.
Yeah, I was going to point that out. he's played in a back five for England and not looked particularly comfortable. I think in an attacking sense, he actually prefers coming from a deeper position in a back four to then, whip in those crosses from deep and be more a part of the build-up play in midfield. And he hasn't had a great season, obviously. So it's like he's missed out on the latest squad, hasn't he? And that was a big point of controversy. And I absolutely think he should go. But he's not my choice for starting right wing back. If we were in a back four, I think he'd actually have more of a case to start.
Yeah. Okay. I understand that.
I still think
who did you put?
I've gone for Kieran Trippier, the right wing back. I think he's played mostly in the back four this season for Atletico, but they have switched to back three plenty of times as well. And he has been both super important to their defence and really important to their attack. He's one of the best chance creating defenders in La Liga. He has really improved his defensive game from when he was at Spurs, and I think he absolutely deserves to start in this team. And also, he can play left as well, which is useful. But I wouldn't start.
Yeah, he can.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be obvious who I've picked. I've picked Reece James. One, he plays in the back five.
And it's for a shout as well. It's a decent shout, Reece James.
He plays in it. Well, probably not on a week to week, but he's slowly becoming the right wing back. Defensively, he's sound, very, very, very strong, and his crosses are almost on the level, if not this season, I think just as good as Trent. So from that attacking threat, and he's just a beast. You can't shrug him off. He's quick. He knows the system, and his first game for England was incredible.
He's been very good when he's played for England.
So I just think he's used to the system at playing the three at the back and playing more advanced in that position if you need him to. He can play as a right back, and defensively he's very, very sound. So I think Reece James deserves that spot. Plus, my thought on Trippier, he's missed out on how many weeks, and when he played
10 weeks of football.
When he played against Chelsea, he was not great. I mean, it was his fault that the first goal was scored. So
I think, to be fair though, by the time we get to the Euros, he will have shaken that off, and he'll be back to his, he'll be back sharp again. So I mean, I feel like the fact that he hasn't played in 10 weeks is almost more of an argument why he shouldn't, be in right now. But I think by the time the Euros comes around, he will be back at that level.
Just because I'm backing my boy Reece James, I'm just going to put out another thing with Trippier.
Yeah,
we're talking about La Liga that hasn't been the highest of quality this season. We've seen that when they've played against other Champions League teams. Whereas compared to the Premier League, it's shown that it is a boisterous, physical league in which Reece James has been happy to play in. I think he had one wobble.
It's a strong argument. I think what Reece James has got going for him as well is that he can play in centre mid. So when he plays out in a right wing back role, he can come into the midfield and he can, support the midfield really comfortably there. And just as a part of the squad as a whole, he can play DM if we need him to. And like a 23-man squad is smaller than it sounds. And so players who can play in different positions are really, really important. Like Kieran Trippier can play on the right or the left. Reece James can play on the right in CDM. So yeah, I think my pecking order for me would be Trippier, Reece James, and then Trent at right wing back.
I think I'm going to switch my vote then, because obviously I'm out of this race, let's be honest. I'm going to say Trent. No, not Trent. What? I just said Trent.
That's who you said. That's not changing.
I'm going to say Reece James, just because obviously the argument is that he's been in the Prem, he hasn't had 10 weeks off, and he's doing it in the Prem. So if you can do it in the Prem, you can do it anywhere, really. So yeah, I will say Reece James. Sorry, Sam.
Okay.
Sam's lost both of the votes.
I still got Stones, Maguire, Henderson.
Yeah. Wait. Did we say Henderson?
Yeah. Me and you both said Henderson, didn't we? So
yeah.
I'm happy to yield to Reece James. He's a very good player.
Yeah. Okay, that. So is it left wing back now?
Yep. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's more of a no-brainer, to be brutally honest with you.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty easy decision.
The Watch just come out with 3 different things now.
I was gonna say, is it that easy? I don't think it's that easy.
I've gone for Luke Shaw. I think he's been incredible this season.
So, okay, all right, hear me out. Okay, so I had Luke Shaw.
Oh,
he's better than Chilwell. No. I didn't put Luke Shaw down.
Oh.
So now I put Luke Shaw. I'm gonna get hate for this. I just realised how much this is gonna really affect me. I said Saka as left wing back, and I said Saka because in my head, Saka needs to be in this team, and he can't go in the front 3 because what is it, 2 cams and a striker, like Chelsea.
Jacob.
What he offers creatively is insane, and he doesn't need as much defending as Luke Shaw, because Luke Shaw can defend as well. He can come back, he can do a menace at the back, and yes, he's creative up front. But
Saka hasn't played in that position for over a year. Well,
but for England he has, and for England he's torn.
I like Bukayo Saka a lot, and he has a real shout of being in the squad, but he cannot play over Shaw at left wing back.
I've lost anyway. It doesn't matter. Like, just me and my
Shaw this season, like we're talking creatively, right? Luke Shaw has created more chances than any defender in the league this season. His key passes per game are like through the roof right now. And he has been like probably top 3 left back in Europe this season on performances. And I don't think you can leave him out because his ball progression as well. He's a really good dribbler. He's quicker than people give him credit for, I think.
Yeah.
And he hasn't played necessarily as a left wing back, but I think his skill set is really well suited.
He has played in a left wing back position. He has played there, but like for the most part of the season, Man United have used the back 4 when he's played as left back. But I think he'll be more than comfortable a little further forward, really able to put in some great balls from the left and create those chances. I just don't think you can ignore him this season. He's been too good. I think Chilwell still goes in my squad.
Yeah, Chilwell's the backup. Chilwell's second choice left back. And then also he can play there as well, if you need him to.
So
if you take Saka, then Saka can play there.
Yeah, but yeah,
that's all I love to hear.
Luke Shaw at left wing back then.
Sure, fine.
So on to the 2 centre mids. This is going to be very controversial.
Do you know what? When you said Henderson, I was so confused because I was like, did I miss something? And I realised you meant goalkeeper Henderson and not midfield Henderson. And I only just clocked it. My centre mid, first of all, was Declan Rice. Because, I mean, even today against Arsenal, he was tearing it up. Like, he made a run.
That gut busting run right at the end. I was like,
shook. I was honestly shook. I thought he was going to score.
Season.
He is incredible.
For sure. And did he get it last season? I don't think he did he? I think
no, he was in
he was close.
He was in like the top 8 voting or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But either way, it was great for him, and it just shows that he's got a lot to his game. You know, defensively he was solid today. He can play centre back. He can probably play as like a mid centre back. He can play in CDM. He can play centre mid. You know, he offers a lot in different areas of the game. Like attacking, he's there. Defensively, he's obviously there. So, yeah, Declan Rice, I think he's a shoe-in. He just has to be.
Yeah, he's so much well-rounded than he was a couple of years ago when he was kind of just sitting back and defending. And he still puts up massive defensive numbers, but now he has added a lot more attacking output to his game. He's a really great passer. He's an underrated dribbler as well. Obviously, we saw that
have you
today.
I mean, off of the actual football pitch, have you seen him in training where he's a freestyler? Like it's actually mental.
F2.
Yeah, no, genuinely, he could quite easily like blend in with F2. He's actually incredible when it comes to freestyling. It's really bizarre to see someone that's so disciplined in a game be so be a good freestyler. But yeah, no, not that he used it in the game.
So he could become like Ronaldinho 2.0. It's his birthday today. So imagine I just whips out some skills.
Ronaldinho's there, Declan Rice.
Oh my god!
I've gone for Rice as well, but partly because I think I've gone for him over Jordan Henderson. I've left Jordan Henderson on the bench, controversially.
Yeah, I've as well.
Because I think in a midfield 2 that we have decided on in the 3-4-3, with the other centre mid that I've chosen, I think you need someone who offers a lot of defensive cover, and that is Declan Rice more than it is Henderson. Henderson doesn't do as much defensive work as Declan Rice does, and alongside my other centre mid does do defensive work. That's undoubted, and he's a really hard worker. But you need a more out and out DM next to him who's going to really cover for a lot of his more attacking forays. So yeah, Declan Rice is the man for me. So
Declan Rice in there, and then the other centre mid. I'm going to say it first because it's not going to be mentioned again. I'll put Mason Mount in there.
Yeah.
Right, he
so have
I. We made it.
You did it, bro.
Mason Mount has.
He's been clear. He has been clear this season. I think he's been one of the best English centre mids this season.
Yeah, he's
probably
he's Chelsea's
not even
most important player.
100%.
Creatively amazing. I think it's something like 2.5 key passes a game this season, which is a big improvement from last season, and it's one of the highest in the league. And obviously he's very hardworking, very press heavy, does a lot of that. Never stops running. And at 22? I mean, the guy's already a leader.
Captain today.
He's a candidate for Chelsea captaincy. And in the middle of the park, he's going to give you everything.
Yeah,
along with being really technically sound. So I think based on the season he's had, he is a bit of a shoo-in, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, today Tuchel, because Mason Mount was captained in the FA Cup today, when he spoke about it and the reasoning for it, it was because they didn't have the actual captains on the pitch, but the captains in front of him is Jorginho Kante, Thiago Silva, and Azpilicueta, and then it's Mason Mount. This guy is 22, and he's in the 5 bubble of those. That is incredible. Just like Declan Rice is captain for West Ham at his age, it is incredible what their leadership skills are. But the one thing I am looking forward to, and I do think it's very possible that these two will be picked by Southgate, is the friendship between them. They are best friends. And it could either go to one of two ways.
99 chemistry.
Yeah, but it could go one of two ways. They could be really, really good together because they know each other inside out, or it could go horribly wrong.
Have they played together before? Have they never played together before?
They were Chelsea.
They are, sure.
They've
Chelsea
played
academy
together.
players.
Yeah, Chelsea youth teams and stuff, and of course they've played together for England.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they are best friends. So it'd be quite nice to see them two together. But
it's exciting. I hope that they. I mean, the thing with Matt as well. Every manager he's been under, Lampard, Tuchel, and Southgate, all seem to love him.
Yeah,
and there's something that they has. That maybe it's his work rate. I think he's got a great work rate. Fantastic.
Yeah, there's definitely things to add to his career.
Mm.
I mean, at the minute, last season he was a lot better at scoring. This season he hasn't done so well, but it's something to improve on, and he definitely has it in him, and he can shoot outside and inside the box, and he's proved it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's our middle 4 then. Reece James, Declan Rice, Mason Mount, and Luke Shaw.
Yeah,
and then it's
that's pretty good.
Front 3.
Move on to the front three.
Now.
This could be an interesting one. I think left wing is the most debatable.
I'm still debating my pick.
Yeah, exactly.
In my own head.
Like I'm not entirely convinced by my own pick. And some of the guys that I've left on the bench, I'm like, these guys do not deserve to be on the bench. Our attack is really, really deep.
We have so many options.
But, I feel like for the season he's had and just been absolutely incredible, I don't think you can leave Jack Grealish on the bench. I think he has to start. He has been just incredible this season. I mean, his dribbling, he's probably the best dribbler in the league. You cannot touch him without fouling him. In terms of his dribbling style and his ability to win fouls, very reminiscent actually of Eden Hazard. And I'm not necessarily comparing the two because Hazard's more explosive, and more pace, and ultimately a better player, much better player. But Grealish has been probably one of the top 5 players in the Premier League this season has to start on the left wing for me.
Yeah, I've put the same.
Oh, well, I lose then because I said Sterling. I just think I think Sterling has just been. I know Grealish has been good. Like, he's been great this season.
Please don't tell me you're saying Sterling's had a great season.
I don't think he has a bad season.
Oh,
you can't tell me he had a bad season.
I mean, I don't think he's had a great season, and when you don't have a great season in a team that's winning the league so comfortably, it doesn't.
I think I think he's very underrated because the things he offers for Man City is still crazy. Like the way he serves up. I know Phil Foden's going to take him the limelight at the moment, so is Gundogan, but he's still been a great player.
I just think he's gone quiet, and to go quiet in the season Man City are having.
Everyone said that when they won the league, and it turns out he wasn't because he was getting goals and assists consistently. The guy still gets assists. Mm-hmm. I just think he offers quite a lot, and he's fairly creative. I know he's right-footed, but even when he's on the left, he's still really creative, and he does stuff for the team. I think we'll still target man like Harry Kane up front as well, or even Harry Kane serving because he seems to be playing more of like a number 10. I think he can thrive, honestly. But I can understand my Grealish. Thinking about it, Grealish has been a better player. I didn't really think about him as much as I probably should have. So, yeah, Grealish wins, doesn't he? So,
this makes things interesting now because on the right wing, I've actually said Sterling, my right wing.
Yeah. See, I told you he's not that bad.
This is one of the things about Sterling. He can play, I think, to almost equal level on either wing.
Yeah.
And still be a threat on goal and creatively. And he's a great dribbler, very explosive. I think in Southgate's system, which often kind of employs that counter attack, I think he could be really, really effective. Kind of with Kane dropping a bit deeper and they're playing him in behind. Because Grealish isn't going to run in behind. Grealish is going to be on the ball as much as possible, and Sterling's more of an off the ball player. He's going to make the runs, and you need someone who's going to do that. And that was for me. That was the difference between him and Jadon Sancho, because it was him or Jadon Sancho on the right wing. And Sancho, again, is not really a run maker. He is an on-the-ball player.
Yeah.
And he wants to have the ball at his feet as much as possible, dribbling and creating chances. And really, I think if you have Grealish on the left wing and Kane through the middle, who I'm sure we've all put Kane through the middle,
no.
I think you need someone. All right. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, starting striker, okay.
Tell me how you go, lad.
I think you need someone who's going to be more hardworking off the ball, making the runs to play in behind. I think that's got to be Sterling.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, who'd you put?
I put Foden on the right. I put Foden. I wanted to put Foden in there somewhere. We didn't play Cam, but Foden on the wing. Even when he's on the wing, he's still class. Not as good as Cam, but he's still really, really good, and he's chipped in with some assists and goals. Against Liverpool, I'm pretty sure played on the right because they played centre forward as KDB and centre forward, and he played on the right, and he was so good in that position. So anywhere he plays in that mid, in that like front three or mid, like Cam left or right, he seems to be doing really good. So yes, I feel Foden.
Yeah, I mean, I presume we're going to end up going with Sterling, but I put Sancho. On the basis of I wouldn't put Sterling on the right because he likes to cut inside, which is why
he doesn't really like to play on the right.
He does not like the right hand side, so I never really thought of him.
I agree that he probably would prefer to play on the left, but I still think he is equally as effective on the right.
Oh yeah,
I just think you've got Sancho that he might not run in behind and stuff, but you've still got a poacher in Kane, which Sancho could basically do what he does for Dortmund with Haaland in the middle of the box, which Haaland's a very lethal striker, which Kane has got it in him. And you were essentially just putting them two together in a similar type of the sweaties into the box, the low-driven balls into the box into Kane. You've got Grealish in there as well, because Grealish isn't going to cross the ball in. Let's be honest. You've got Sancho that can play long driven balls, and you've got Reece James on the outside of him that can whip a ball quickly in. And I just think that what's the right words? I don't even know where I'm going with this. I just think Sancho would be a better mix with Reece James than what Sterling would do with Reece James, because you've got to think about those two are going to be very close to each other.
That's a good point. And, as a Wolves fan, I've experienced firsthand what happens when you have a right wing back and a right winger who don't quite have that chemistry, and when they both want to do the same thing and they just ended up getting in each other's way, it's an issue. Like we've had that with Semedo and Adama just kind of not really working together. And we eventually had to swap Adama and Neto, and things went much better after that.
Yeah, I mean,
so it's definitely it's a very good point. And Sancho is one of the best creators in world football. He's an amazing player. And if you had him on the right and Grealish on the left, that's like, chance creation heaven. And for a player like Kane, he's going to put a lot of those away.
He'd love it.
Yeah.
So, the reason I went for Sterling over Sancho is like, I think Sterling's a bit more explosive. He's faster than Sancho. Sancho's fast, don't get me wrong, but he's not like, he's not Sterling. And Sterling is just absolutely rapid.
Yeah, my worry would just be Sterling ends up pushing out to the right hand side.
Yeah,
into Reece James is crossing lanes, which could be.
I think it's a point to be fair, because if you're playing wing backs, you wingers really should be cutting inside if you're going to play like a back five. So I can understand. It's difficult because Sterling on the left.
Well, I think Sterling should stay on the left and it's out of him and Grealish personally.
Yeah, stalemate. It's going to be a sticky one. We're going to be pleading cases.
Well, at the end of the day, Jacob, it's up to you.
Yeah, because
why is it up to me? We are different people.
Look, Foden's.
Okay. So basically, you're not gonna pick mine. All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You did that to me.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay, Sam. Do you know what? It's okay. God, Sancho or Sterling? Do you know what? I'm gonna go with Sterling. My guy, my Jamaican brethren. Yeah, so you do win this one, Sam. And we all pick the same striker.
Just to clarify,
you actually not pick what? Go on.
Oh no, I picked Kane.
Oh, okay. All right, thank God. I mean, he's just
Tammy Abraham.
He's had a great season.
Is there anything we need to say about Harry Kane? Second best striker in the world this season.
I mean, there's a lot of people we need to mention because there's so many people.
Yeah, I mean,
not in so much depth, but
you can't just like have an England squad and have an England squad debate and not talk about Marcus Rashford.
Yeah,
the guy, he deserves a big mention because he's a top class player. He's obviously going to go, and many people would argue that he deserves to start. And it depends. It kind of depends, like how you want to play, because you could argue that if Southgate wants Kane to play like he has for Spurs, as much coming deep and almost being more of a playmaker than a striker. You can argue that Rashford on the left instead of Grealish would work better in the system.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree with that.
Well running behind, and he almost wants to play. He's more of an inside forward, isn't he, than a winger?
Yeah.
And he's a goal scorer.
We do actually have two perfectly. Like you could put a front three quite easily of Grealish, Sancho, and Bamford, or a striker, or Calvert-Lewin that can run in.
Yeah,
and then you could quite equally put Rashford, Kane, and potentially Sterling or Foden.
Yeah, exactly.
And that would work because you've got left wingers and right wingers. We've got both ones that want to push on and drive at people. We've got ones that want to sit in, and it's the same with strikers. We've got a striker that wants to be on the last man. So you could play either way really. You could play with almost like a centre forward with two left wingers and right wingers. They push on, and you could play with a number 9 and have left wingers and right wingers that sit in a bit more. So there's so many different tactic, but we've got Southgate, so tactical masterclasses all gone out the window.
Oh, of course,
and whoever you start, there's such a threat off the bench, isn't there?
Oh, yeah.
Against tight defences, whether it's Rashford, Sancho, Sterling, Grealish, Foden. 2 of those guys can come on and, just have their way with tired defenders. Yeah. So it's an exciting time at the end of the day.
Saka as well.
Come on.
And there are plenty of players who probably deserve to go, who are not going to go, like Callum Hudson-Odoi, Patrick Bamford, Ollie Watkins.
Okay.
He's doing well at AC Milan.
Why?
At
AC Milan.
Yeah,
at AC Milan. Calm down, son.
But so that's our team.
Do you want to read our 11?
Go through it real quick.
You've got it in front of you, haven't you?
I've got it all up. So we've got Henderson in goal, back 3 of Stones, Maguire, and Konsa. We've got left wing back, Shaw, and right wing back Reece James. Centre mids Rice and Mount. Left winger Grealish, right winger Sterling, and through the middle is Kane.
Very nice. That is a very good team.
That squad could win the Euros pretty easily.
Yeah, it could. If it didn't have Gareth Southgate managing it.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Who would you get as a better manager?
Graham Potter. Graham Potter is the England manager.
Frank Lampard.
All he needs is a striker. If Harry Kane was playing for Brighton, they'd be like seventh.
To finish off the XG.
The thing is though, part of me almost wants us to get like there's. I would rather we win the Euros, obviously, or we get knocked out in the group stage.
Because that should never happen. If that happens, and Southgate gets sacked, it would just annoy me, and I'd be happy that Southgate's gone, but then we have to wait another 4 years for that again.
Yeah,
this is the prime to be winning. Like, remember we saw that team of like Gerrard and Terry and Scholesy and all them playing.
No, 2 years. 2 years.
Yeah, but I want to win the Euros. I want to win the Euros.
It's not even 2 years. It's like
a year and a bit. Yeah. So if you get sacked now, obviously if we win them, it's great. But if he does really badly, get sacked, we could get a decent manager in for the World Cup, and we've got a World Cup winning. It could be me a bit deluded, but I think we've got a World Cup winning side.
I think, and the thing is, like, there is no one in this team. Maybe Kieran Trippier, because I think he's like 29, 30. But other than that, there's like no one who is going to be worse a year later. You know, there's no one who's going to be really affected by being a year older. And even if Kieran Trippier is at whatever he would be then, 30, 31. We've got plenty of right backs, frankly.
Yeah, I think we'll be okay.
We've got Trent, we've got Reece James, we've got Hudson-Odoi, he's now a right back apparently. Endless options there.
Yeah.
So not really an issue.
But that is our predicted/ideal starting 11. Well, I reckon we should review this in the first Euros game.
Yeah, we definitely should.
So we'll have a look at this. Thank you guys for watching.
If I'm sober enough for that, we'll see.
Yeah.
But
that depends on what we win.
Yeah.
Oh God, if we lose that game, imagine we've been in lockdown for this, waiting for this, and we lose our first game. We're out in the group stage.
So Scotland, imagine if we lose.
Oh, there will be riots.
But yeah, I mean,
you were trying to wrap it up so bad.
I don't want to talk about us losing in the Euros.
Yeah, that's the podcast anyway. Hope you enjoyed. Go and check out our socials, Instagram, Twitter. Check us out on Spotify and iTunes. We're on that.
Click the like button if you've enjoyed it. It helps to see if you enjoyed this type of content.
Subscribe.
Comment if you think we've missed anyone.
I'm sure there'll be plenty of people.
There'll be plenty of comments.
Just roast us in the comments really to see if we've missed anyone.
Roast you in. Thanks for listening. Bye.
See you guys. Peace.